happy winter solstice. It is 12:21 and I'm doing a 3-card reading with the question, what does the winter solstice want us to know? What message does the winter solstice have for us? All right, I hope everybody's doing good. I love when the seasons change, and I especially love when they change into fall and winter. I know most people love when it goes spring and summer, but I love when it goes fall and winter. It's my favorite time. So the energy on the solstice is very powerful. So we're asking, what does the winter solstice want us to know? What message does the winter solstice have for us? So yeah, we had the party last night in the building. It was a lot of fun. I meet the most interesting people when we have our events here because we're an artist community, and like I was saying in the previous video, it's so fun. And I do usually open my door, so I have open studio, and I meet so many interesting and fascinating people who love to share their own work or about art or philosophy. Or I have the cards all over my table, so everybody was asking me about the cards last night and if I was reading and doing some readings for people. So it was fun. I had a lot of fun. Okay, so winter solstice. What does the winter solstice want us to know? If you're joining me for the first time, I'm Melissa Caprio from Postcards to the Universe, and I have a show called Postcards to the Universe, Creating the Life You Crave, and I have really interesting guests on my show. My next show is the first Wednesday in January. I'm going to have Gregory, I think it's Gregory Passman. He's coming on in January sometime. I don't know if it's the first Wednesday or the third Wednesday, but he's a channeler, and he channels the archangels, he channels aliens, he channels higher beings, spirit guides. My last show, I had Celeste Brooks. She's an astrologer. We were talking about the energies of 2026 and astrology. So I like to talk about all this kind of stuff. So you can find out more about me if you check out some of my other videos. And I would love it if you would subscribe and comment and let me know your thoughts. And if you have any insights from the 3 cards that I pull, let me know. This is a super slippery deck, so I don't really use the cards that flip out. All right, one more time. What does the winter solstice want us to know? What does the winter solstice want us to know? Does the winter solstice want us to know? What message does the winter solstice have for us? All right, this is gonna be the last shuffle. No, you don't want to see me shuffle for 3 minutes. All right, cut the cards. What does the winter solstice want us to know? What energy? Ooh, that is really interesting, coming right out of the gate. Cutting through the bullshit and the world. Oh my God. This is crazy. Okay, well, 10s are about completion and transition. So the winter solstice is, the beginning of the winter months where we are supposed to, go within, rest, let go of what no longer serves us, right? Let go of things that we cannot take into the spring or the new year with us. So if you can see her face is shining on the light, and you see swords are about challenges, truths, our thoughts. A lot of times I think of swords as the way we talk to ourselves. So you see this all in her back, like all the betrayals, maybe all the slights, all of that stuff that we have dealt with. The winter solstice is saying it's time for you to look up into the light, and it's done. It's completed. Okay? It's time to release because we are in preparation for a new beginning, which is exactly what the energies of winter is before we go into spring, right? So what is it that you need to release? There's things that you need to release. You have gone through the cycle, you're finished, but energetically, don't hold on to it. Look at how her face is being lit up, okay? And there are maybe some things in your subconscious that you're not really wanting to address because we see the moon here. So let's not bring this energy of these things that we have completed into the new cycle. The cycle is over, okay? It is done. And then we get into the Ace of Wands. Ace of Swords, sorry, not Wands, Ace of Swords. Again, thoughts, challenges, truth. So we're ready to cut through the bullshit, okay? Aces are about the seeds, the pure potential. It's the beginning, it's the spark, it's a gift, it's raw energy, and also swords are about cutting through these thoughts and challenges and the truth. And the winter solstice wants us to know that it's time to look at everything, all the information, all of our thoughts, all of the truths, and take our sword and cut through it, right? Moving forward. We are ready to move forward, okay? So I can also see it as we are in this time of rest, as we are in this time of retreat, as we are in this time of going within and regrouping, look at the thoughts that you have. How are they serving you? If they are not serving you, cut them away. You're being given time to cut them away. Okay? Because I say this and I'm learning this as I'm talking to you. I'm also telling myself the same things I'm telling you. But I learned something, that I am my biggest problem. Right? Like I am my biggest, if anybody gets in my way, it's me. Because I'm talking about how we can manifest everything we want, about raising our frequency, about how we're a mirror. So yes, that doesn't mean that things don't happen, but it's how I handle the things that happen that shift everything in my life, right? I'm learning not to take things as personally, right? I mean, sometimes we do, but when somebody says something that's hurtful, it's about them, it's not about me. And I don't have to take it on. And I'm learning as I'm going, just like everybody else. So these messages are also through me. So in my time of rest, I have to go and look at some things that I've thought, some things that I maybe have said, some self-talk that isn't serving me, and I have to cut through that. I'm done. I'm not taking that into the new season, into the new year. And the winter solstice wants us to know that we are being given the space to do that, because the World card is about completion, wholeness, achievement, and integration of all lessons. And you can't make this shit up, right? Okay? You can't. We are complete. We have achieved what we needed to achieve. We're integrating all the lessons that we've learned throughout the seasons, throughout this year. And we're moving into a new era. I mean, she is literally the seed. Do you see the seed planted and the new growth? And look at the flowers blooming. So my interpretation of these three cards is, this is a beautiful spread, actually, I think, because I believe the message from the winter solstice is, this is the time of rest. This is the time of cutting off the dead branches, going within, learning all the lessons that we needed to learn, integrating them, letting go of what no longer serves us, and planting the seeds to what new is ready to grow. And we've been given the space. We're being given the space. The winter solstice is saying, I'm giving you this space to do this. Okay? That's the energy. I'm giving you the space to do this moving forward. I mean, come on. Completion, integration of all lessons after it's just crazy to me. It's just like unbelievable. And I really, really like this message because I feel like now we're getting at a place in life, in our consciousness, that we can ask questions of those things that we thought were, you know, like I'm asking the winter solstice for a message. You know, it's not like a person, you know what I mean? But we're at a space where we're receiving those messages. And they're real, which is so beautiful. That more and more people are connecting. I mean, how many people now, especially if you're watching these kind of channels, are you listening to them, or who are psychics or who are mediums, who hear, you know, are telepathic with their animals, or people who get messages from the trees. I mean, who connect with the fairy realm. It's happening. So I do believe this is a direct message from the winter solstice for us. I really, really do. I would love it if you would share your thoughts about it, if you stayed with me this long. I'm trying to keep the videos short because I know people don't have a lot of time or short attention spans, but I'm trying to do them where they're not too long. So if you have any interpretation from these 3 cards about the winter solstice's message for us, let me know. All right, guys, have a great one, and I will see you next time. Wow, just amazing. All right, I love these cards so much. The magical hours tarot. Okay, bye everybody.